Hello, scholars. Here we are with chapter 5 Animal Movements. Scholar, we see different animals in our surroundings. Will you give me some examples of these animals? Dog, cat, cow, buffalo. These are the various animals that we see in our surroundings. Do you find them that they are sitting still? No, they move from here and there, is it? It means they show movements. Okay. Some animals they hop, some animals they skip, they jump, they run. Okay. Some animals, they fly. Okay. Fly means who flies? The birds. Okay. So they fly. So there are the various methods or the various ways of these animals' movements. Okay, and based on their body structure or their body parts, they move from one place to another place. So I think you might have got the idea what we are going to learn in this topic. The topic says animal movements means we are going to learn about the movements in animals. Okay, so let's start. Okay, here are some important definitions and the important sentences that we are going to learn. Okay, the first is the habitat. What is the habitat? The place where an animals usually live and grow is called its habitat. Scholars, we know that normal there are two kinds of habitat. One is the aquatic and one is the terrestrial. So, the animals which are found in water are called as aquatic animals, correct? And who are the aquatic animals? Fish, they live in water, octopus, jellyfish, dolphins, okay? They live in water, so they are called as aquatic animals. Now, like us, or elephant, tiger, okay, these animals, they live on land, so they are called as terrestrial animals. Now, scholars, why do these animals they move, or why do they show movement? The animals they move from one place to another to search food, to move away from danger and their enemies, as well as for the reproduction purpose. Okay, so these are the various reasons for the animals movement. Now, some animals they are having the backbone, and the animals with backbone are called as the vertebrates. Do we have a backbone? Yes. That's why everyone say us that we should sit straight, is it? So, the animals which have backbone, they are called as vertebrates. So, which are vertebrates? Humans, dogs, lizards, fish are the examples of vertebrates. Now, does this backbone is present in all kinds of animals? No. The animals without this backbone are called as invertebrates. And what are the examples? Jellyfish, starfish, worms, insects are the examples of the invertebrates. So, vertebrates means the animals with backbone. Invertebrates means animals without backbone. Now, we will use one more important term, that is streamlined body. What is streamlined body? Streamlined body means the body which becomes narrow at both the end and help in reducing the friction. Now, let me give you the examples of this streamlined body. Now, if when we look at the birds, when we look at the fishes, okay, their shapes are different, is it? And their shape, it is the streamline shape. Even if we look at the aeroplane or boat or ducks, okay, their shape is the streamline. Now, one more term is friction. What is friction? Friction means a force that occurs when two objects or surfaces rub against each other. Now, scholars, we know that we need energy to do anything, okay, and we get that energy from the food, is it? So, when we pull anything or when we push anything, we are actually applying the energy, we are applying the force on that respective object, is it? Like that, when the two objects they come in contact, the frictional force or the friction it is occurred. You can also try this now. See, you can take your two palms and start rubbing on each other. Here you are creating the friction, and because of this friction, what will happen? After some times, your hands will become warm. Especially we do this task in the winter season, na? Yes, so that we can get the warm. So when two objects, okay, or the surfaces they rub against each other, okay, at that time a frictional force or friction force it is occurred. Okay, now let's come to the first animal that we are going to learn is the fish. You can see here one beautiful picture of the fish. Okay, they are having the different colors and they are looking so beautiful. Now let's see some general characteristics about the fish. Where are these fishes found? Yes, they are found in the water. So, what are they? They are the aquatic animals. Okay, now they are having the backbone, so they are called as the vertebrates. They live in water bodies and not only in saline or not only in fresh water, they just live in all kinds of water bodies like rivers, ponds, lakes, streams, seas, and oceans. Okay, now some of the fish they live close to the surface of the water, and we may even see them. Okay, those who are living close to the surface of water, while some fish they live very deep below near the ocean bed. Now, what do they eat? Some fish they eat plants while some eat smaller fishes and other aquatic animals. Okay, now, there is one important word school. What is a school? If I ask you, what is your school's name? You will say that my school's name is Countryside International School, is it? But when it is the fish, it means school means their group. A group of fish is called as the school. Isn't it interesting? Yes, a group of fish is called the school. Now, these small, colorful fishes actually trick their predators by gathering in schools and moving around swiftly. Scholars, predators means what? Predators means the animals those kills and eat other animals. They kill their prey. Why do they kill the other animals? Because the other animals are their food. Okay, so these fishes they make a group, okay, and they trick their predators. Okay, now they can also change their body color according to the color of their surrounding. Okay, and this is called as the camouflaging. Yes, so they are able to blend themselves with the surrounding water and they can hide themselves behind the rocks. Okay, so this is all it is called as the camouflaging. And why do they do this camouflaging? They do this so that they can save themselves from their predators. Okay, so this is about the camouflaging. Now let's see how breathing takes place in the fish. Okay, scholars, how do we breathe? Yes, for breathing, we are having the lungs. We take in air with the help of our nose or nostrils, and from the nostrils, okay, through the windpipe, the air reaches to our lungs, fine, where oxygen is absorbed and carbon dioxide is removed from the body. Okay, this is the breathing mechanism in our body, and we are having lungs for it. Okay, but do the fishes they are also having the lungs for breathing? Because see, fishes are the living beings. They also need this oxygen. Okay. So they don't have the lung. So what do they have for breathing? Yes, fish breathes with the help of the gills, and that's why if you take out the fish outside the water, they die because they cannot able to take the oxygen. If we close our nostrils and mouth, are we able to do like this for more than 2 or 3 minutes? No, we start feeling suffocating, is it? Because we cannot able to live without the oxygen. Same things, if we take out the fish outside the water, fish cannot able to take the oxygen and hence they die. Okay, so fish can't breathe outside the water, okay, because they don't have lungs like us and they are having the gills. Now what are these gills? Gills means the thin slits or the holes which are present behind their mouth. Okay, so these fishes they breathe by taking in oxygen from water they drink. Then the gills they separate this oxygen present in water and throws out the water and carbon dioxide, okay, from this gills, and it helps them to breathe under the water. So which organ helps the fishes to breathe? It is their gills which help them to breathe. Now let's see about the movement in fishes. Earlier we have discussed that the fishes they are having the streamlined body. Okay, here you can see in the picture the streamlined body of the fish. So because of this streamlined body, fishes they can easily move through the water because this streamlined body it reduces the friction. Okay, the friction between them and the water, and they can swim swiftly in the water. Okay, so this is the first thing, they are having the streamlined body which help them to move swiftly in the water. Now second thing is that their body is covered with the scales lap which overlap one another. Fine, and it also help in reducing the frictional force. Now, along with these scales and streamlined body, they are also having the fins on either side of the body and tail that helps them in the movement. Now, these fins they help to maintain the balance of the body while swimming in water, and tail helps them to stop or to change their direction when they are swimming. So all these their body structure like streamlined body, scales on their body, fins and tail, okay, helps them to move swiftly in the water. Scholars, here in the diagram as well you can see that. Fine. So scholars, this is about for today. What we have learned in this video? In this video, we learned about the general characteristics of the fishes. Then we see about breathing in fishes, and the next is the movement in fishes. After watching the video, don't forget to read page number 52 and 53 from your textbook. Fine. In the next video, I will give you this interesting information about one more animal. Okay, scholars. Till then, bye bye and take